Hello, welcome everybody. So much depends upon what? Upon the literal dimension in the curriculum design of the province of Buenos Aires, I'd say. Hello everyone. I wanted to make this video for students at the profesorado and teachers who are looking for maybe ideas on how to incorporate literature in state schools. And so I hope you enjoy it, and I hope we can make the most out of this time at home. I know it's hard and many people are going through different hardships, let's say. I also believe it's a moment of maybe contemplation, so I thought, why not imagist poetry? So let me share this experience. Well, to open up the curtains or maybe get the class started, we could ask our students, even if it's online, to share their ideas on this. So much depends upon what? And of course, maybe we prompt something like so much depends upon health, so much depends upon money. I remember many students saying money. So much depends upon family. So much depends upon hygiene. Well, many other ideas. And try maybe to incorporate students' ideas with a whiteboard, or if it's that you are teaching with WhatsApp, maybe try to make one audio message with all your students' ideas. Then maybe we could share the vocabulary that is including poem 22, actually, because the poem originally didn't have this title, but anyways it's also known as The Red Wheelbarrow by Carlos Williams. Well, first, as I said, it's important to share the vocabulary and also to work a little bit with word formation, because it would help students read the different layers of the poem. Even with the word depends, and thank God we speak Spanish here in Argentina, with the word depende, pender, yeah, all the lines that follow the first line to some extent depend upon that first line. They are like hanging, pendiendo of that first line. So maybe also incorporate into the dialogue, of course, Spanish and your students' knowledge of Spanish. We have wheelbarrow as a one word, and also we have, of course, wheel and barrow. Then same with rainwater. And even though you have two words in white chickens, the idea of the concept is just one. Then you could work about I wouldn't work so much with the poet's inspiration for this poem, but well, that's another option. Of course, the use of the word glazed, in this line it says glazed with rainwater. Now that everybody's cooking so much, maybe you can incorporate that. And this question of, okay, the movement, the imagist movement had to do with the idea of simplicity, and this kind of free verse, haiku kind of writing, that is quite like a painting. So at least in my experience, I remember students at the Colegio Nacional second year were quite surprised that they could read poetry, and that I think they felt satisfied. Say, is this a poem, teacher? Really? Like, how come this is considered poetry? So perhaps also changing, or maybe incorporating a conversation of what poetry is. That's, I think, really important. Of course, we did that in Spanish, but I mean, that is quite interesting. Then, after this, I made a recording with my students, completing this idea of so much depends upon, and then we share that with our preceptor. And luckily, I have lost the audio. Today, I wrote a message to Leo, who was my preceptor at Colegio Nacional, and we have both, luckily, lost the audio. So the importance of documentation, okay, that is for teachers and for everyone, actually. But the idea that they share whatever they produce is quite important. And then I have some other ideas for tasks. Perhaps we could ask them to make like a loop, song rap recording with different partners, saying so much depends upon and completing with their own ideas. Of course, here perhaps you can, perhaps rather than perhaps, we should always prompt. I remember in another school, one student says so much depends upon money, and then I pushed him a little bit to say why, what things, and asking him to focus on just concepts without the linking words and all of that. He got into again a quite interesting rap. Another idea is to use Insta poetry, because it is, I mean, images. The images movement had to do with paintings and the idea of images. Why not incorporate that into Instagram, an Instagram post of Insta poetry? And then again, because they are at home and our students have different abilities and interests, maybe we could ask them to make a painting. Well, and also showing ourselves as vulnerable and as creative and as even ridiculous beings is quite important, because sometimes we ask our students to open up and we don't do it ourselves. I have used a professional photographs thanks to my friend, and so I wrote this for this photograph. I hope you like it. It's simple. So much depends upon a dance floor. Steps together. Let fish breathe air. Escape the net. Upon red dress, yellow. So also share your own productions. And please, 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 if you like this idea, if you use this idea for your classes, please write to me. I will be really happy to hear. And I would also love to use this as a starting point for a conversation. So thank you.